What do you suppose our project is today? Yes, the dreaded kitchen faucet replacement. Yes. When the owner came to me and asked me, "Hey Joe, can you replace this kitchen faucet for me?" I've done a few in the past and I know how to do it. It's a little bit of a headache depending how old your faucet is and stuff. So I agreed to do it so that, why? So that I could bring this video to you. That's why. Now this faucet here is probably, oh, I don't know, I'm going to guess 10 years old, maybe 15 years old. And it's been dripping. And, you know, on some of them, if your faucet's only 5 years old or so, you could take this handle off, and then there's a cartridge in most of them right here that you can pull out, and then you can take to the store, match up, and replace, and maybe you can get your drip to stop. Okay, but a lot of times they don't have them in stock. You have to special order them, take it apart, put it back together, wait for it, come back, pick it up, bring it back out here, and sometimes after you replace the cartridge, you know what? Sometimes it won't stop that leak. If you have any worn parts in here, or if you don't get all the right parts and gaskets and rubber, this, that, and the other thing, you know what I mean? And sometimes if you see that it's leaking down here, maybe it's not leaking from up here, maybe it's leaking down here, and you think it's all in here, before you think about it, pull this out and see if this connection right here is tight, because sometimes this could be dripping and then you don't really notice it when you pull this on. Maybe the water's dripping in there and comes out over there. I've had that happen before, and I fixed it just like that and saved the person $250 or so for a new faucet and replacement and all that. Okay, but in this case we're going to go ahead and replace it. And what I see here, what they have is a little soap dispenser. That's kind of nifty. And here, this over here, this is an air gap for the dishwasher. We're not going to touch that. We may have to do something with that, and here's why. We're going to replace this faucet, voila, with this one right here. Water ridge. I've never really heard about a water ridge, but I pulled this apart and it looks pretty stout. And see, right here, it's got a soap dispenser attached right here on the base. And so when we have that, we're probably not going to need this, are we? And see how close this is right here? Now, the new one, hopefully it won't extend any further over into there. But if it does, we're going to have to pull this out. And overall, eventually we're going to end up pulling this out. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do that today or not. 'Cause once you pull this out, there's going to be a hole here in your sink, and then we're going to have to get a blank plate there for the right size. And I didn't get one at the store, and I don't think the owner has one either, because we're not sure what size that is until this gets pulled out of there. Okay, but they have caps there, a nice little stainless steel finished cap that goes on there that you tighten up from underneath. Okay, you ready for this project? Let's do it. Yes, we're going to get down and dirty into this cabinet sink, or the cabinet here. Now, on most cabinet doors, I don't like to just leave them open like that, because when you're crawling around down there, you hit this cabinet door. These are older cabinet doors, and see, they're only going to open so far, and I could spring this if I accidentally hit this or something. And I'm looking at the hinges. If I undo 2 screws to each hinge, each cabinet door, I can pull that off and get that out of the way. Okay, don't think you're not going to hit this, because if you do, it only takes once. Now you're going to have to fix your doors. So I'm going to unscrew those really quick and take those off. Now some cabinets, newer style, have quick release tabs on the back. And so if you have a newer style cabinets, these are probably 30 years old or so, maybe even more. You can clip it and just pop the whole thing out without undoing any screws. Okay, take a look at yours and remove your cabinet doors. That's more better. Okay, and you see how this cabinet is all nicely cleaned out? That's what you've got to do. Anything that's in your cabinet down here on the floor, remove that, wipe it out, get pipes rearranged. See, they had a little water softener in here, and I kind of pushed the pipes back up in there because I want to have this as clean as possible. And see, most cabinets, they don't have this style here in the way anymore. You just have a door closing here and another door closing over on the other side. Well, that's going to make it a little bit difficult, so I can shimmy in there and all that. Get yourself plenty of light down there if it's kind of dark in your kitchen or whatever. And I've got a nice little construction light here, and I'm going to use that. It's going to help with the videos too anyways. And you can get one of these at the hardware store for anywhere between $15 and $20. This is a 250 watt. You can get a 500 watt bulb one as well, or 300 watt even. And that's what I'm going to use to help me with this project.